I have a load of kittens here. I have a load of kittens. This is Loki. Hi, Loki. Say hi. And this is Freya. Hi, Freya. And they are our tater tots. And oh my God, are they something? They are a handful. Okay. They're a handful and a half, no joke, I swear to God. All right, so hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Maria, and I know I haven't updated in a little while. So this chat is going to be a live chat, or a quote-unquote life chat. Not because I'm not going live, but this is going to be live chats. Live chats are just where I sit in front of the camera and I talk to you guys about certain topics that are on my mind, or what I've been up to, or what's been happening, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the first episode of this. So as you can see, I have my hands full. We adopted two brand new kittens. My friend Steve brought us two kittens from a friend of his that had a stray that had kittens. And they are only 4 months old, or probably about 5 months right now. And, you know, we've just been getting them acclimated to the house. So if you hear a bunch of ruckus going on, it's kittens. But at any rate, you know, we were preparing for the inevitable departure of one of our beloved cats, Sammy. He had been quite ill for a little while. We believe his kidneys were kind of shutting down. And unfortunately, he passed away this Monday. And it was really jarring for me because that's my baby. I inherited Sammy from Catherine and Matt, and this is my sister-in-law and her husband. And the family, really. You know, the family had always had the twin girls, which were Dust and Dusty, and those were kind of Dad's favorites. And then we had Weezer, which was Mom's cat for sure. He followed her around everywhere. And he favored her, right? So Sammy was always kind of left kind of to his own devices. And when Catherine moved out, she didn't take Sammy with her because, you know, I mean, that was his home, you know, and she didn't want to, you know, reacquaint him with new areas and things like that. And at that time, I completely agree. I think that it was great that he stayed home and he got to have his backyard and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, fast forward a few years and I came along and my first introduction, I think like the first month that I started dating Jake, Sammy got into a little bit of trouble, hurt his toe, and you know, I kind of nursed him back to health, and he's just been my cat ever since. I actually have scars from when I gave him an antibiotic for that toe, okay? And he scratched me with his back claws, so I'm going to forever have this scar here from him. You know, I just took to the cat. He's a tuxedo. My first cat, Binky, was a tuxedo, and they're just absolute, like the tuxedo cats have like this demeanor about them that is just amazing, right? Like they are so loving, so snuggly. They just, you know, if you give them a little bit of attention, they just completely just melt all over you, and you just kind of become their human. And Sammy was certainly that way with me, and you know, we cuddled every night, almost every night. Until he started getting sick, and then I would see him, you know, kind of stay to himself and stuff like that, and it was really sad, you know. We didn't want him to suffer. We were going to put him down, but before we even got to put him down, he passed away naturally, and I think he just did not want to die in some cold hospital room, veterinary hospital room. You know, he wanted to die with his family, and sometimes some of our cats, you know, they tell us when they're good to go. Like Charlie did the same thing. We were literally on our way to put her down when she passed away. And I just remember Jake coming back and, you know, with the cat in his arms, and, you know, and you know, she had passed away, and you know, he said it was just this peaceful passing. And I think that for the most part, we kept Sammy very peaceful. We kept him, you know, he had pain medication. He was very comfortable, you know, but he, you know, it was definitely his time to go. And, you know, he lived a great 16 and a half years. And this is his collar. I'm wearing it for a little while just because, you know, that's my baby. I miss him very much. But, you know, I have 2 new kittens, and I think that God put them in my way to kind of soothe this blow a little bit. And I think that once they came into the house, Sammy must have been like, okay, I can go now because my mommy's going to be okay. My mommy's going to be okay. And Hazel has had a little bit of an issue with them. She is not adjusting well. She has literally become Dust 2.0. She picked up all these habits from Dust when she was a little baby, so now she's acting like Dust. And I'm looking at her right now. I'm trying to integrate them as much as possible, so I have them all together now. But she's just like hiding away in her little corner, doesn't want anything to do with them. It's cute. But yeah, so, you know, having to deal with that. You know, we're going to have Sammy's ashes, you know, taken back with Mom. And hopefully, if they get them back to us in time, you know, they can be placed with the rest of our kitties, Precious and Tabitha and Charlie. We have a little place, a little gravestone, if you will, a grave marker for our kitties. You know, that was the place where he loved to be. He loved to be in that garden. That was his favorite. And, you know, the only reason I brought him here to Arizona was because, you know, I felt like he was getting older. Jake and I both have very, very adamantly, or, you know, very carefully taken care of older cats. You know, we had Charlie, we had Precious, we had Tabitha. So, you know, I think it was more feasible for us to bring him here because he was getting thin and he was losing a lot of muscle. So that's what happens when they get old. And, you know, I just thought, you know, we're better equipped to take care of him. And that's why we brought him here. Otherwise, I would have probably left him. If he would have been in really good health and all that kind of stuff, I would have left him there for sure. But it turned out better. I mean, he definitely was my heart. You know, he had this thing where he would give you headbutts, and he had, you know, he had this rollover that he just, he just loved getting a chin scratch, and when you chin scratched him, he would just roll over and want belly rubs, and you know, he's just such a lovable cat, and I'll never forget him. He's going to be as precious to me as Precious, right? So, but moving on from that, there are other things that I've had to kind of deal with. One of those is, you know, we are currently facing the closing down of CA Technologies as we know it. CA was acquired by Broadcom earlier this year, and on Monday, you know, we will know our fate. We don't know what's happening, who's staying, who's getting terminated, who's you know, who's going to be, you know, offered a transitional contract, which is a periodic contract and then termed, you know, or if they're going to offer you a full-time position with their company. Nobody knows their fate. It is awful to have nearly 11,000 people on a string like that. So that definitely doesn't make me want to go work for Broadcom if that's how they're going to treat people. They say, oh, well, we can't tell you guys anything until it's officially closed, but I think that that's bullshit because other companies have done so. They have been like, well, you know, this is our plan, so if we get, you know, approved, et cetera, this is what we plan on doing. These are the things that we bought this company to do. This is why we bought them. This is, you know, I mean, CA itself did that. So we really don't know why. It was just like this broad statement about oh, we want to move into the software market a little bit, which that's so vague, right? We have thousands of products. We have mainframe computers that handle Department of Defense contracts. So we run a lot of things. We run a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses run on CA Technologies software. And for a company that just moved their headquarters in March of this year from Singapore to California, and then immediately looked to buy Qualcomm, and that was rejected by President Trump. They weren't going to allow Broadcom to have that quote-unquote monopoly. So that was rejected. And so they moved on to CA Technologies and said, okay, well, if we can't buy the same type of companies, we're going to have to buy other companies. It just seems very iffy to me. Okay? So I'm not looking forward to working for somebody that keeps people on a string like that. Like really bad, really bad. And everybody's stomachs are turned. I mean, people who have been working at CA for 20 plus, 30 plus years, have no idea what their fate is. It's so crazy. So I've turned myself into a beacon of hope, if you will. And I always do this. Like I'm best when I'm helping other people. For me, for my own soul, for my own Christianity, it is something that I believe in very much so. To help other people is something that I'm very passionate about. I've always done that. I help the CF community, obviously. I help the ovarian cancer community. I've devoted my life to also fighting for the rights of the LGBT community. So, when it comes to helping others, I'm the first one to sign up. It's like, hi, sign me up. Okay, what do I gotta do? So I figured that since I had run my own tech firm for 14 years, Amplify Technologies, and I was pretty successful with it, and I used LinkedIn quite extensively to get my contracts, to bid on projects, to do a multitude of things, and most especially like network. So I've been in LinkedIn since 2005, so I have like 13 years of experience with LinkedIn. And I figured, you know what, I'm just going to start running some clinics for everybody. Anybody that's interested, hey guys, I'm going to teach you whatever I've picked up along the way. I'm not claiming to say that this is the way to do LinkedIn. I kept reiterating, hey guys, you got to make it your own, and you got to kind of, take what I'm telling you and kind of pick the things that most resonate with you and move forward with that, right? But this is what I've picked up along the way, being CEO of my own tech firm, right? And having to have used LinkedIn quite extensively for many years, and so on and so forth. So I started with Leslie, who runs our corporate LinkedIn presence, Leslie Murdoch, who has become one of my dearest friends. I absolutely adored her. I'm so inspired by her. She has such a great story. She's very, I call her my sister in God because we're both very Christians, and we really let our faith kind of speak for us. So, and to us. So, I'm so happy to have found her and to have her as part of my life. And I knew that this whole thing with CA was coming, so I started working on my resume. I started updating all my stuff. I got my LinkedIn all nice and tweaked. I got all kinds of things done, right? And I wanted to make sure that I, got whatever I needed and made sure that I was good. And that happened like a month and a half, maybe almost 2 months ago. I just knew I needed to prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I always say that, right? So I got with her and I said, she had the idea. I think we should have a LinkedIn clinic. And I said, that's an excellent idea. And she was like, I think you should run it. And I said, why do you think me? And she's like, well, because you're very knowledgeable on this platform. And, you have that experience of someone who's actually hired people. So I said, yeah, that's very true. So I put together a that the clinics, I said, okay, let's do a Monday and a Friday clinic. On Mondays, we'll tackle basics. So like, setting up your profile, profile settings, going through all the profile sections and what they mean and so on and so forth, right? And then on Fridays, we were going to do more of like expanding your network, like, the more advanced stuff, right? Like writing articles, participating in groups, et cetera, right? And what that can mean for you. So I said, okay, let's do it on Mondays and Fridays for the entire month of October. And then, we were kind of like tapped on the shoulder and said, hey, try to keep that on the down low. So don't record it, don't pass it around, don't share this and that, and hi, there's a kitten. Don't share it, don't do anything with it. Just know that, we're trying to keep all of this in the down low. Okay, so I was like, okay, all right. And I already had a class. I've had a class on Udemy before. I've taught about LinkedIn and to small business association teams and things like that, people that want to know how to network and how to run their business and stuff like that from before. I've done a lot of public speaking in my career. So I was like, okay, so I'll do it. I'll take that content that I already have. I mean, I already have it, right? So I just offer it for free to my colleagues. Normally that's $199 for the class, right? And I just said to myself, I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to pour all of this into CA, into my CA family, because for free, right? Because, we're all in this ship together and this ship is sinking. So, I'm like throwing out the life jackets. I'm like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. And we're all kind of swimming along, And so they were wildly successful. We had so many people register. For the LinkedIn clinics, and we were running them every Monday and every Friday. I tried to do like a content, creation process clinic, but I got sick. Hi, cystic fibrosis. That's what happens to me. I could never like really plan things that far out, but I did want to do that, and I will do it because we now have a LinkedIn group for CA. And I will do it, so we will run that content creation process clinic. And I'm also going to be doing things like, SharePoint clinics and Google Suite clinics, because I'm certified in all of those things. I have dynamic certification. I have tons of things, right? I've done so many things in my life. Are my certifications necessarily current? No. But I've never had to have like that issue. That's never been an issue. People pretty much, if you get it once, you get it once. That's good. Hey, you little, oh my goodness, these kittens. So at any rate, so they were really successful, and I've just been so humbled, so honored, so taken back by everyone's gratefulness for Leslie and I to put these together. And to kind of go through them and meet all these wonderful people from all over the world, because I also did 2 sessions on a Wednesday, like at 1 a.m. my time, right? Because I wanted the European, the Asian, and the Indian, Middle Eastern regions to be able to attend on a better schedule for them, right? So I did that. So on 2 Wednesdays out of that entire month, I held a 1 a.m. session that was a full session. So I did the day 1 and day 2 all in one. And, I never have felt happier to do something for someone. Honestly, that filled my heart. I feel like, I feel fulfilled in the fact that I helped a lot of people. Like, even if one person gets a new job because they spruced up their LinkedIn profile and because they learned how to, do all the job applications and this and that on LinkedIn, like, that is gold for me. I would be so happy for them. Like, oh my God, I helped you do that. Like, and by the way, remember me? Yes. Right? Like, throw some luck my way, right? Because I'm still looking for a job. And let me tell you something, wow, has it been hard for me to find a job. I'm at that director level, and I have 20 plus years of experience in IT, but here's where it really, oh my God, here's where it really gets tricky for me, is that I have history-related degrees. I don't have an IT degree, and that has always been a hindrance for me. I've literally removed my education from my applications because I don't want it on there. I'm currently enrolled in University of Phoenix, and I'm trying to get an IT management master's, but I'm probably not going to be done with that. But I put that on there rather than putting all my other degrees, because they just sideline me as soon as they see a history degree. Oh, what's this? This is not the one we're looking for. And they bypass the 27 years of experience that I have, and don't even bother looking at that. So I've completely removed it from my resume. And I'm sitting here and I'm submitting to all these companies, and I'm trying to get in touch with these recruiters, and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. And at the same time, I'm also looking out for my team, right? So I have a lot of people on my team who are really going to need new jobs, more specifically those that need visas. Oh, what are you meowing at? No, you're not going in there. That is Hazel Grace. So, so especially those folks that need the visas and things like that, they're really going to be in need of new jobs. So I'm trying to help them as much as I can, while trying to help myself as well. And, again, I'm just looking out for my team and the people that I work so closely with, like Jamie and Alex and Ben, and, it's just crazy, right? So I feel blessed even in these situations that I'm in, because I think it's just the opportunity to help others is really a calling for me. And whenever that arises, I step up to that plate immediately, and I knock it out of the park. I'm that devoted to the advancement of other people, even sometimes at the expense of myself. This time around, though, I did take care of myself. Like I said, I had all my stuff put into play and all that kind of stuff, and now I'm just trying to push Leslie to get her stuff, so I'm giving her the space she needs to get all her stuff done. And we started the LinkedIn group, which I'm helping to manage, and I've enlisted some of our amazing business leads to help us manage that LinkedIn group, and I hope to be able to bring, like I said, more LinkedIn clinics, SharePoint clinics, Google Suite clinics, Dynamics clinics. You name it, I can do it. No joke. You want to start a business? I know everything about that. I've started 7. So, I know all about all of that stuff. I know about business contract law and all that kind of stuff. I could go on and on about several topics, And I'm encouraging other people in the group to also step up and offer clinics too. They've got a lot of knowledge that they can share. And I, for one, am always that's my thing. And this comes from my dad. My dad instilled this in me. He always said to me, the second you think you know it all, you know nothing. Because you will remain stagnant, and everybody will advance past you, and they'll learn past you, and you will remain at this point because you think you know it all, right? And that has pretty much stuck with me my whole life. So I feel very passionate about learning from others. So whatever I learn, I like to pass on. And if you have something you can teach, then you have a valuable skill, by all means, toss it up there and get it done, and make sure that you are, proliferating your knowledge to other people. And I think that that's an invaluable way of dealing with life in general, right? So for me, advocacy for chronic illness people, advocacy for the LGBT community, woo! Go November 6th, please vote in favor of candidates that will uphold equality laws, and look out for our brothers and sisters in our LGBT community, because they need our help. You know, they're very threatened still to this day, and they need our help. They just need our support. So yeah, those are my life chats for today, for this week. Let's see, coming up, we're going to be doing a video on the half double crochet, half treble crochet for the crochet projects. I am also doing a gift for my sister-in-law out of my woodworking skills that I've recently just picked up, so I'll be showing you some of that. My woodworking is very brand new, and I'm trying to set up my garage, my little garage with like a bench and everything and all that kind of stuff. I want to build my own bench and stuff, so I'll probably walk you guys through that. And, you know, also want to, you know, do more artwork and painting and things like this for Claire, you know, the Claire things that I love to do. And, you know, it's just, you know, more projects in general that I can pass around, you know, and also just more life chats. I love being able to sit in front of a camera and kind of tell you a little bit about what's going on and what my experiences have been and how I'm adapting for that. And, you know, I hope that you join me next time that we come around. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.